Well, Hillary Clinton lost the presidency in part because of widespread popular disgust at the amount of money her family made from politics, hundreds of millions of dollars, and the belief that she used her influence to cash in, which of course she did repeatedly. Now Hillary is creating a brand new political action committee. Peter Schweizer watches this kind of stuff for a living. He's the president of the Government Accountability Institute. He also wrote the book Clinton Cash, Throw Them All Out, and a bunch of other books worth reading. He says the Clinton business dealings, where they commingle business and politics, are far from over. They're corrupt, by the way, while Congress remains compromised as well, thanks to a report of insider trading. Peter Schweizer joins us now to untangle this ugly web. So, Peter, what is this new Hillary Clinton PAC, and how will she get rich from it?
Well, it's basically a 501c4, which is a tax-exempt organization, and it can take unlimited donations. Those can be secretive donations, and I think really this organization is going to serve two purposes. Number one, the Clintons have all these people, guys like Sid Blumenthal, that need a place to hang their hat. So it's an opportunity to do that, to keep their network in place. Number two, what it's going to do is make them relevant in the Democratic Party. A lot of Democrats want them to go away. The Clintons, if they can't be king, they want to be king makers.
Right.
And this organization will help them be a big player in the Democratic Party.
Right. You forget that the Clintons are sort of a sad version of the Grateful Dead. You know, there's like a whole bunch of there's the band, but then followers and their kids. You know what I mean? You're supporting a lot of people when you're the Clintons. So what about the Clinton Foundation? There was speculation that it was going to go under once she failed to get elected.
Yeah, well, two things have happened. First, the Clinton Global Initiative is gone. Zip, it's gone. This is something that happened in December after she lost, and essentially interest and money dried up. The Clinton Foundation's not in much better shape. A lot of foreign governments that gave them millions of dollars, the government of Australia, for example, has announced after the election they're not giving them any more. The government of Norway has cut it back by some 87%. So they'll continue to limp along, but it's not going to nearly have the $250 million budget or so that it's had up until this point, because it was a pay-to-play system. And we know from the Podesta emails that when the Clintons did their own internal review of the Clinton Foundation, that that's exactly what it was, that they were exchanging donations for favors. They can't really perform those favors anymore because they don't have any power or access to power.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought the key to the Clinton Foundation was its own good works, and most of the children in the world would die were it not for the Clinton Foundation. You're saying the second they no longer have political power, people stop giving to this incredibly good institution? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I think they're going to have continued problems. I mean, my theory is one of the reasons that they talked about Hillary running for mayor of New York or Chelsea running for Congress is they need access to some formal power. They've basically had it since 1992, if you don't count being governor of Arkansas, and they don't have access to power anymore, and there's not a lot of reason for people to give them money.
I thought it was for the children, but, you know, silly me. So Politico, which I don't normally cite in a positive way, did a pretty great piece, I thought, on the stock trading habits of a bunch of different members of Congress, and conclusively, as far as I could tell, showed that they were trading against policy decisions they were making. Even after your book showing how this is a longstanding and horrifying and illegal practice, they're still doing it. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, Throw Them All Out came out in 2011. 60 Minutes did a big blow-up on it. They passed the Stock Act, which makes it illegal to engage in insider trading by members of Congress or their staff. The problem is, Tucker, it's incredibly hard to prove, and also you're relying on federal officials and prosecutors to go after Congress, which, of course, funds those very prosecutors. So there's a very simple solution here, and that is the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, the Senate Majority Leader, can both decide that they're going to have new House rules and new Senate rules that simply say you cannot trade stock in a company that you have regulatory oversight on. If you're on the Senate Armed Services Committee, you cannot buy defense stock, etc. They don't have to pass a law. They can pass out House rules, and if you violate those rules, you can be kicked off the committee. And I think that would deter a lot of this behavior.
It's just shocking that they don't have them already. Now, there are a bunch of people named. I'm not going to name any of them tonight. We've invited all of them on. I want to hear their side of it. But, you know, if you're buying stock in a relatively obscure company touched by legislation you just wrote, you know, I don't see how you could defend that. But we'll find out. Peter Schweizer, thank you for the groundbreaking work you've done on this subject.
Thank you, Tucker.